We are back. Very, very good trip. On Saturday, January 28th, I spoke at the Educational Policy Conference in St. Louis, and it was put on by the Constitutional Coalition. Chef David Clark was there, Michelle Bachmann, Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, Sam Sorbo, and Ann McElhaney. McElhaney, yes. And she's the one that she and her husband made Gosnell movie as well as a book. And Gosnell is the black guy that was aborting babies, and then when they came out alive, he would apparently cut their throats or something. He's in prison now, so they made a movie about that and wrote a book. It was a very, very good conference. Everybody and their mama showed up. Very, very good conference, and I appreciate speaking there. At least one person came over to me, and several people came, but one came and said he lives in Illinois, and he had been watching us on YouTube, watching our YouTube channel, and that he wanted to thank me for showing him how to forgive, helping him to forgive, and that he just really into the YouTube channel, and he really appreciate the fact that he now has forgiven it, and he thanks us for that. He is now talking to his brother about forgiveness and introducing our YouTube channel to his brother. And that's amazing to me, because I have to tell you, afterwards, so many people came over. My talk was about the antidote, healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood, with the emphasis on forgiveness. And I have to tell you, if you don't let that anger go, because anger is unforgiveness. Now, you can hold on to it if you want. It's okay with me. I'm just saying you're going to hurt yourself the rest of your life, and your children, your friendship, family ship, all kind of ship, or ships, because anger has no love in it. I heard story after story after story after my talk, from the young and the old. And good folks mean well, but they have that anger. And a whole lot of folks didn't know that you could really overcome it. They thought you needed to control it, or, something, or Jesus had it. I'm disappointed that Satan has convinced people that Jesus was angry, so it justifies your anger. So many people use that, and it's so unfortunate, absolutely unfortunate. But a very, very good talk. We had a hoot nanny of a time. Got back Saturday night. I spoke at the luncheon on Saturday at 12 noon. I was the closing speaker. They're making a video of it, so you'll be able to check it out. There is a spiritual order to life that most people have forgotten or don't realize, and that order is God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. And when you remove that father, you remove the Christ from the woman and the children. And that's why evil could come in and take over and do whatever it wants with the women and children. But that father is the Christ. Even if he is a weak father, he's still the Christ over the family. And then when you remove Jesus from the man ended up going nuts. Because as he get his love and order from Christ, Christ get it from God and pass it down, and the husband pass it down to the wife. One of the reasons I wrote The Antidote is because I want to prove to you that racism does not exist. I write about Barack Obama, and everything I write can be backed up, is in the book, can be proven. Barack Obama grew up, he had a white mother. You do remember that, right? Yeah. Even though for the last 8 years, I don't think he ever mentioned it. But he had a white mother, and his mother hated her color. She hated white people. And while growing up, she taught Barack Obama that America was a racist society. They said the police department is racist, white people are racist, and just think of the type of message they send out to other boys and girls who don't have fathers in their home. That you could be a thug, we're gonna honor you anyway. They gave Michael Brown a Dr. Martin Luther King style funeral. They gave him a funeral as though he had been a good person doing good things in this country. And it was mind-blowing to see that. Same thing with Trayvon Martin. No parents. Father and mother separated, grew up without a father, had that same anger and emptiness. These kids are mad and angry because the mothers are angry. And the mothers are angry because it's difficult for a mother to raise children alone. That's why God created the order, so that fathers and mothers can work together and guide their children in the right way to go. And I have to tell you, we're going to have to start dealing with that, because if we don't, even though we love the new president, and I believe he's going to do well for the country, but he cannot turn this anger around. We got to do that. It's an order of the parents to take control of their children's lives and guide them with love. When children look at parents, they should see love in the parents, because they do what you do, not what you say. They look at your image and they follow whatever you do. And that's what we have been trying to teach and have been teaching the young black boys and girls, especially boys, in Los Angeles and around the country. When I woke up, I realized that black Americans are not suffering because of racism. God said that our battle is not a physical battle. He said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and wickedness and evil in high places. Our problem is not a physical problem, it's a spiritual problem. It's a warfare between good and evil. And on the left, they represent evil. They are children of the lie. They represent evil. And they are doing a job. They organize together. They do whatever they can to deceive and destroy. And because these black kids don't have parents to guide them in the right way to go, when they go into the public schools, when they go into universities, they are told that it's the white man that is racism. And they don't have parents at home. They don't have fathers to tell them that it's not true, to guide them in the right way. This is the greatest country in the world. There's no other country but America. Everybody and their mama are trying to come here. Illegal aliens are destroying the inner cities, the urban areas. Hardly a day goes by where there's not a fight in the public school system, especially in places like California and Texas and others, where blacks and Hispanics are fighting because the black kids are feeling pushed out, the Hispanic kids are coming in, and the kids don't like it. You don't hear a lot about that on the news. A lot of black people they're not for abortion, but they don't know what's going on. Jesse Jackson and the black churches are not telling them the truth. They don't know how serious abortion is. They don't know that Planned Parenthood has been using them by taking their babies like that to make money. Yeah. It's so sad, folks. You have no idea how bad it is. And even Barack Obama, to start winding down here, even Barack Obama, just think about this. And I said this on my show on Thursday. I said, it's interesting in that for the last 50 to 60 years now, we have had black politicians, we have the NAACP, we have black preachers who are very popular and famous, have large churches. We have black city councilmen and women. We have had black police chiefs and police officers. We have had the power is in the black people in black people's hands. They have had it. But over the last 60 years, not one black person, man or woman, have been able to solve the problems of the black community. Not one. Just think about this. Barack Obama had the power of the United States of America in his hand. He had the military, the National Guard. He could tell the police departments, hey, let's go into these urban areas. Let's clean up the crime and the violence and the drugs. He did not do it. Nobody has done this. And then Donald Trump comes along, and that's one of the things that's on the top of his list, is going into the black community and solving these problems. And I'm thinking, why didn't Barack Obama do this? Why didn't Jesse Jackson and all those people, the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus, they could have done this, but they haven't. And the reason that they have not done this, cleaned up the mess, is because they want black Americans brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. because you cannot control a moral people. You have to demoralize them in order to control them. And so they keep black people angry and lying to them. All they have to do is tell black Americans, forgive your parents for failing you. They did the best that they could do. They were wrong, but forgive them so God can forgive you and you can start a new generation. All they have to do is send the police department into those areas and clean out the thugs, clean out the drugs, so the good folks that are caught in those communities can finally start living. But they refuse to do it because they want them in that condition in order to use them for their purpose. And that is to gain power and wealth. And that's what it's all about. They're never going to do anything. And now we have the great white hope coming in. Remind me of Jesus Christ. Remember how they hated Jesus? God sent Jesus so he can save us, right? And some people hated the Savior. But he did it anyway. I believe Donald Trump is going to do the same thing for the inner cities. He doesn't care what they call him. You attack him, he's going to attack back. You call him a name, he's going to call you a name. And I love that. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing, especially white Americans. Get over the fear of being called racist. It doesn't exist. Our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. And black Americans need to hear the truth. The regular folks, most of them love Donald Trump. And the reason they love him, because he's independent, he tells the truth, he fights back. And that's what we all need to do together. If we're children of God, we need to come together as one and fight against the children of evil. Fight against the lie. You can overcome evil with good. And I want you to know that God is with us. He is with us. Greater is he that is in us than he that's in the world. And we have to do this if we want to save our country. So I want to encourage you, if you have black friends, you go to black churches or wherever, tell them the truth. And when they go off, you could just run. You don't have to hang around, right? Because the truth will work for your behalf. And when they call you names, don't overreact. Stay still and let them just have a fit, and you still tell the truth. Don't take it personal, because God is with you. This is the greatest country. Our battle is a spiritual battle. We're teaching this around the world.